Thank you, Gwen. Let's take a deep breath and join me in this opening prayer. Oh, it's so good to come into that moment of peace when we breathe deeply, centering in our heart where we greet the divine nature within. And it's from that divine identity that we know that all that is happening right now is right here for us. And that ever-present energy is that presence of God, that divine energy that is and always is. And we know that we come here with whatever brings us in choice to this now moment, by our divine appointment, by this being what is. And then life happens. Life happens with diagnoses, with great opportunity, with stumbles, and with great success. And whatever is, we are given all that we need to do whatever we need, because we are always in the right place, at the right time, with the right people right now. And we affirm this in ourselves as we open our heart with gratitude. Gratitude for all this brings to us on this beautiful Sunday morning, ready to celebrate in this service. Thank you, God. And so it is. Amen. Wow, it's great to see you here, but I need the microphone. I'm used to wearing it on my head, not holding it in my hand, as I hold on to the wonderful tool I'm carrying with me. This is a wonderful community, and if you have your cell phone with you, let's send it into the silence where we like to be. We'll turn it on vibrate, send it in, turn it off. It'll get its messages as we get ours. So unity is a spiritual community that fosters personal transformation for healing, for wholeness, and for an intimate connection with the divine. We do this through affirmative prayer and meditation that opens us to realize our oneness with God. Now, we honor the light that lives in all religious and spiritual traditions, for we know the light shining through every stained glass window, through every temple, through every cathedral, through every church tent is the very same light shining in us. And we call that light God. Now we know that what we experience is based on what we think, what we say, what we believe. And when we say what we believe with our breath behind it, with intention, with gusto, it ignites a powerful force in the universe. So let's say this great truth with gusto together. There is only one presence, one power, active in my life and in the universe, God the good omnipotent. And so it is. Do we have any newcomers here? Anyone visiting us for the first time? If so, please stand up if you're willing. And Maggie's going to come over with the microphone and find out your name and why you've come today and where you're from.
Hi. My name is Sandra. I'm from New Braunfels, and I came here to join this community. And thank you to Kimberly.
Thanks. Good. Awesome. Welcome.
I'm Bill, and this is my wife Judy, and we're Unity of church members in Kimberly. We wanted to come here and listen to Maggie speak. We support her, and glad to be here. This is a wonderful church, a beautiful place. So,
Thank you.
And Maggie's the best, we know.
Well, the ushers are bringing you a welcome packet. It's got some information about this community, about Unity as a whole. And on the outside of that is a blue coupon. And if you fill out that information, take it to our Sacred Corner bookstore after this service, you can get a free gift. In fact, you can get a free gift if you don't fill out the blue coupon as well. But we love to bless you and honor you. We're going to rub our hands together, connect with our hearts, and say this. Oh, yes. Dear friends, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Namaste. Beautiful. And this is our live stream service, which means that we are broadcasting this service right now live all over the world, anyone who wants to check in with us. And if you want to turn around, that camera right there is a way you can wave, you can give them a shaka, you can say howdy. We love that you're here with us, and you're in for a treat because we have a wonderful service for this community and for the world. Thank you. That's special. So now I'm going to ask our one of our board members, our treasurer, Deb Thomas, to come up and lead us in the daily word.
Okay, the word for today is generosity. Divine love through me multiplies all that I give and receive. Would everybody repeat that with me, please? Divine love through me multiplies all that I give and receive. A classic Unity hymn declares, love is something, if you give it away, you end up having more. While it is true that freely sharing my time, talent, and treasure attracts good into my life, I'm inspired to give for the sheer joy of giving. Recognizing my oneness with all people and God, I know every thought, word, helping hand, or financial gift I offer blesses me as much as it blesses the one who receives it. Because I know that both giving and receiving are essential to the flow of abundance, I accept with gratitude and love the gifts and blessings that come to me through the loving generosity of others. I count each day as another opportunity for me to give in return. And from 1 Timothy 6:18, we read, they are to do good, to be rich in good works, generous and ready to share. Okay, and our vision statement is, if you will repeat it with me, please. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening.
And our mission is exactly what we're going to do to get to that wonderful vision. Together, acknowledging the divinity within, we welcome and empower all through fellowship, education, and service to our community and the world.
Today's core value is prosperous. The prospering Spirit of God now inspires me with ideas that lead me to bountiful prosperity. And when I take time to commune with God in the morning, which I try to do because I'm a busy, busy person, but I try to make that time, I find that I just end up in the right places. Yesterday, I helped an 83-year-old man, a friend of mine, and I have a purging garage sale. And that was prosperity to me because I got to know him better. I got to spend time with my friends. So prosperity to me is not always money. It has a whole lot to do with my quality of life. And as long as I practice the unity principles. I'm taking a class right now that is fabulous about inner peace. That prosperity comes. And I make that gratitude list every once in a while when I start to get a little off beam. And it's amazing how long my gratitude list is. Thank you, God.
And now it's time for a congregational song. So please stand as you're able and we'll sing We Are One in the Spirit.
We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. We are one in the Spirit, we are one in the Lord. And we pray that all unity may one day be restored. And they'll know we are living by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are living by our love. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. We will work with each other, we will work side by side. And we'll guard each one's dignity and save each one's pride. And they'll know we are living by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are living by our love. We will walk with each other, we will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other, we will walk hand in hand. And together we spread the news that God is in our land. And they'll know we are living by our love, by our love. Yes, they'll know we are living by our love.
You may be seated. And now it is with great honor that I get to invite to the podium our ministerial intern, the wonderful Maggie Alderman.
You can have it. Good morning. Oh, I just love to get a good look at you all and feel your energy because it fills me up as I drop in. And I just want to thank Reverend Gary for giving me the opportunity, as not being a pinch hitter, to speak and to practice my craft with a little more time to prepare than the last time. And I'm having a moment of a overflowing heart because I have my dads here and my baby, my son, and some adorable, delightful, and most supportive friends from my home church in Wimberley. So no pressure as I step in to the first time they've seen me give a talk live. So we're talking today about the power of connection, and what rolled around in my mind as I prepared my thoughts and got myself in a place to listen to what needed to be said through me with Spirit was Matthew 5:8. In Matthew chapter 5, we find the Beatitudes, and verse 8 is, "Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God." Blessed are the pure of heart, for they will see God. We hear Jesus talk about our hearts more than any aspect of our physical makeup. He didn't seem too worried if we were hungry or in a bad mood, but he was really concerned about our heart, this place where we live and express our divine essence. And as we give, we so receive. So I wanted to talk today about the unity principle, number one. As we get back to basics, you know, you think about a basketball team and they lose a game and their coach is like, "We're running fundamentals." And those fundamentals will kick your tail at times. You run until you feel like your legs are going to fall off. Well, I said, I want to get back to basics. So I've been running in circles about the one presence and the one power and all that is good and all the places that I can see God. And more importantly, all the places that I'm being asked to show up as the divine presence in connection. So why is that important to me? It's come up because I just had a birthday on the 11th when we were celebrating the gala and I was running around and holding art up, I was also in a deep reflection about those things that are most passionate for me, those things that I could do inexhaustibly. And in that reflection, I wondered to myself if I had done enough of it. And connection came up for me. Connecting one-on-one with people not just that I know, though that is critically important, but people beyond just myself. Because I value cultural diversity. I value the individual stories and how, in connection with each and every one of you, you add to my own spiritual expansiveness because I gain a deeper understanding. And then I'm able to come into a place where I can relate to you. Follow my equation. Understanding equals relate equals relationship. If we are able to get to a place of relationship, relating and understanding one another, then we become facilitators of healing, and healing begets wholeness. Does that make sense? It makes so much sense to me because we are at a time where it appears as though we are in deep separation from ourselves. I think if anybody is watching the news, listening to the radio, or even has the courage to have a conversation with their neighbor, you might find out how deeply separate we feel in the illusion of separation right now. So while I got this all arranged on the whiteboard of my mind, and I thought about the two major components of understanding and relating to one another, I turned to Charles Fillmore, Unity's co-founder, because I want to know at the root of Unity, what do our founders say about what is applicable today, 100 years later? And is it so? So let's see. I looked up wholeness, and Charles Fillmore says it is the perfect unification and expression of man as spirit, soul, and body. True healing means to make whole, and it is brought about by regeneration. Regeneration implies degeneration. But I just wanted to make sure that I was picking up what Charles was putting down. So I thought, let's see if he's got something to say about regeneration. And he does. He says, regeneration is a change in which abundant spiritual life, even eternal life, is incorporated into the body. The transformation that takes place through bringing all the forces of mind and body into the support of the Christ ideal. This is the unification of spirit and soul and spiritual oneness. So it was totally by accident that I came up with the equation. But I love when that happens and I go, this ministerial school is actually working. I understand what Charles is saying. Look at. And I just came up with a way for me to remember my place in the process of restoring wholeness and healing for my community, my family, and that getting carried beyond. So I said that we were in a place of a great divide. That's the appearance. But what if it wasn't a divide? What if we were just in a place of tremendous transformation? Something that is so grand in where we're going that to get there, we got to wrap up a bunch of crud down here. The way that I learned this in a way that I can explain it and articulate it and digest it is through spiral dynamics. Anybody here familiar with the learnings and teachings of spiral dynamics? Good, I'm not alone. I could nerd out forever, but let me give you the synopsis here. Spiral dynamics is the conglomeration of the body of work that Professor Claire Graves did. It is the observation of history as we evolve and an attempt to place on a spiral how we evolve and the characteristics that go along with that. So each evolution, there are 8 of them, starts really small and simple, and it gets bigger and wider and more complex. So can you guess where we are? We're circling the top of the spiral right now. We've moved through about 5 of them, and we are sitting in the gradient area between what is orange and a me era, and green, what is a we era. So in orange, for 200 years, that means everyone in this room and watching online has been raised and brought up in orange. It is a technologically focused, progressive, self-interested development era where we have expanded and connected in ways that we have leveraged industry. We have expanded transportation. We have connected through the internet and seen the degradation of snail mail because we can instantly connect with one another. We've also suffered through countless wars the last 200 years and seen poverty and the crash of the stock market. We have been through random illnesses that have wiped out total populations, but it's made us look deeper and work harder in the scientific, medical arena. So this is great, wonderful work that's coming out of the orange era, and now the green is saying, how great, and how does everybody get some of that? We are at the place where we are coming in to community, where it's not everyone for themselves. We're actually raising up in our consciousness and looking to our right and to our left. So go ahead, look to your right and your left. You're green. You're green. Evidenced by the fact that you are in a Unity church voluntarily on this Sunday morning. You are answering the call to be that change agent. You are not alone. We are all in it together, but it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy. Because we've got Orange, who's like a bully on a playground, who's had the lay of the land, getting all the lunch money, always has the first dibs on the swing set. And now someone bigger is saying, how about she gets a turn? How about he gets a turn? So we as green are also being asked to show up differently, doing something that we won't have to do too far off in the future, but right now it looks like social action. Right now it looks like maybe going to a march, or maybe signing a petition, or maybe connecting with one another. That's what I'm suggesting today. I struggle. I said it earlier. It ain't easy being green. Kermit got it right. Okay? I mean, way back ago, Kermit said, it ain't easy being green. It isn't easy being green in an orange world until we get off that last trail, right? I know I struggle. I do. I have the awareness of my position and my answering the call in life. I'm in it with all of you. But I was raised in orange. I was raised to acquire a home and get my career and raise my family and get my education and set up a legacy, whatever that may be, however it may be, whatever the cost is. And in green, as we are called to a higher level of consciousness, I struggle to slow down. I struggle to want to step outside myself and make those personal connections that contribute to my existence and my expansion and understanding and foster healing and wholeness. Because it's hard. Connection takes a lot of energy. And we are not done in Orange, so we still have our blinders on. So I'll tell you a story. I had to go through Chicago Midway when I was on my way back for my last trip to Unity Village. Boy, I was determined to get home. I love Unity Village, but I am exhausted at the end of it, and I wanted to get in my own bed. I wanted my pajamas, and I wanted to sleep till I woke up naturally the next day. So I took that last flight, which is always a gamble, because I always miss my connection in Midway. And I was going to make best use of my 40 minutes to get from Concourse D all the way to A with a bio break and getting dinner. Good luck to me. So I was right here in the middle of the hustle and bustle, revving my engine as we pulled up to the gate. I got my bag, I got my backpack, I got my earbuds in, which is the universal sign for leave me alone. And I took off out of that jetway, and I was going, like this, tunnel vision. You know the drill, right? I did that until I saw a slow-moving, dark-haired young man just up ahead of me. And he caught my attention because he wasn't a part of the hustle and bustle. And as I came up to him, I saw a scar running down the back of his head and his neck, and realized he has a backpack on and he's pushing a walker, probably 32 years old, doing the very best he can to slowly, diligently navigate Chicago Midway while people are zigging and zagging and knocking him to and fro. And I didn't stop. I gave him one of these and kept going and got all the way to my gate, and there's a seat, prime real estate, with a charger that works. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I don't even need to go to the restroom. I'm sitting right here. And God said, go back and make a connection. It wasn't a surprise. I could feel it in my heart space. It wasn't right. People knocking him around and acting like he was invisible. But I whined. I was like, today, God? There's a seat right there. I don't want to. And God said, take your tail, Margaret. I'm Margaret when I'm in trouble. And go back and make that connection. So I did. But I didn't go straight for him because I didn't want to freak him out. I did one of these. And I said, hi. How you doing? I don't know why I'm here, but I was told to be here, so what's up? And he just lit up. Hi. How are you? And we walked slowly as I created space and got to connect with one another. And I learned that he was on his way back from BWI, from Baltimore, where he'd been for a wedding. His older sister hadn't seen his sisters in years. And he got the privilege to stay behind and visit a few days. Now we're standing in line getting a cup of coffee. And he's on his way home to Gadsden, Alabama. The connection could have been, oh, Gadsden. My stepdad is from that area. But it wasn't that. I said, have a nice day, have a nice flight. We made our departure. And on the plane, I realized that I had done something more. I had made more of a connection with this young man by learning a bit about his story. Not the scar, not the walker, just him as a human being. And in my departure, in my absence, I left behind the seeds of forgiveness, the seeds of the opportunity for him to form a different story. How many times do we talk in terms of absolute? Everybody is against me. Nobody sees me. Everything's awful. That could have been true because that is what was happening. But getting on his plane, leaving, that could no longer be the truth. And so that story takes front row seat and is what gets spread beyond. Now, not everybody is a jerk. Not everybody thinks I'm invisible. I have been seen, and I mattered. We all just really inevitably want to be seen. But what does it cost us? We don't do it freely all the time. Hence me whining about it to God when I could have plugged my phone in and disconnected. It costs us our time, certainly. It costs us our energy, that's for sure. But it also might cost a dose of humility. The opportunity to have something told to us that negates what we always thought about someone. Right? The opportunity to have to even be vulnerable and share our own story. I don't do that freely all the time. But I would if it was appropriate and the time was right and it was the right person, the right place. If we're following in the flow of divine order, then how could it be wrong? I went with my son last night to see The Joker. Talk about a bid for connection. I'm not a fan of Joker, but he wanted to go and I wanted to be with him. And this iteration of the Joker laughs hysterically and uncontrollably due to a mental disorder at inappropriate times. So he is and really crying and distraught on the inside. And it's so powerful, he can't even talk, so he has a card. And it says, I have a condition, turn it over. I laugh inappropriately, and what's happening on the outside doesn't match what's going on the inside. How many of us show up that way? How many of us are putting on a happy face, but something doesn't feel right? Or we're acting out and unable to articulate what's going on with us? Because we just need a sounding board. We need someone that will be making that connection. So I invite you to think about what might be on your card. If you're laughing uncontrollably, but hurting on the inside. So I wanted to end with a story from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. It is on November 16th, where a story that comes out of the Talmud. And it articulates how beautifully we are journeying together alone. And it's about a story about a rabbi teaching his students. So breathe and be the student. The rabbi says, how do you know the first moment of dawn? And a long stretch of silence goes amongst the students. And finally one says, oh, I know. It's when you can distinguish between a sheep and a dog. And the rabbi says, no. So another stretch of silence ensues. And another hand goes up and they say, oh, it's when you can tell the difference between a fig tree and an olive tree. And the rabbi says, no. And when there was no other answer coming forward, He circled the students and walked between them. And then he offered this. The first moment of dawn is when you can look into another human being's eyes and see yourself. In the era we have been raised, we are not taught or conditioned to step outside of ourselves. But isn't it true that we are all the divine spirit? We all were gifted that birthright of having that seed within us. If it's true for me, it's true for you. And taking the moment to understand one another, to relate with one another, offers us the opportunity to regain and restore the sense of wholeness together. And we said yes to being here at this time and this life. So we are change agents together. I see you. Namaste. And we'll take these thoughts into meditation.
Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide. Go within. Touch the truth. Go within. Know it's you. Go within to the place that's still. Go within. Let that be your will. Go within to the one inside. Go within. Let it be your guide.
So from this place where you are grounded, I invite you to visualize the connection between head and heart, divine and human experience. Taking a deep breath, bring your imagination to the center of your heart space. The altar where our divine Christ presence shines through. The place where truth lives, where there are no filters to be applied. On your next deep breath, I invite you to please try and open that space. I visualize a rose unfurling before me, so that our heart space are the open portal from which we can pour forth the true presence of our inherent divinity. And from that same place of openness, we receive freely and willingly the outreach of connection from others. Because it is that symbiotic flow of energy and awareness between two divine beings that restore us to the sense of wholeness, to the sense of perfection. In a moment, we're going to go into the silence, and in this place, you might want to visualize your innermost circle and then just one ring out, and consider how well you're connecting, how inviting you are to connection, and where you may have missed an opportunity that you can go back and retrieve. Here we can ignite the power of imagination and think about ways to connect, questions to ask, and invitations that we can extend. The opportunities are infinite. So breathe in and rest easy, knowing that the divine ideas are yours for the taking here in the silence. As we continue to breathe, we can now feel our own expansiveness through that same power of imagination. What does it feel like to understand someone else? How does that contribute to the richness, the abundance, the prosperity within your life existence? Feel that energy. Feel how you take up a little more energetic space. And as we come back into this now moment, you can wiggle your fingers or your toes, roll your neck or shrug your shoulders. and concentrate, bring that knowing of an open heart portal with you. And let us say this affirmation together. My heart is filled with divine love that flows freely from me and into me. Thank you.
Mother Earth decided to throw a party, a bountiful gathering, and everyone was invited. The wheat brought the flour, and the rain brought the water, and the yeast dropped in to make the dough rise. The fire brought the flame, and the wind fanned the kindling, and together they made the bread of life. We go together, we grow together, we go together, together we grow. We go together, we grow together, we go together, together we grow. Oh, together we grow, together we grow, together we grow, together we go. Now faith brought the melody, and hope brought the rhythm, and together they sang a song or two. Then love dropped in, and we all went to heaven. Man, they played a joyful tune. We go together, we grow together, go together, together we grow. We go together, we grow together, we go together, together we grow. Oh, we gather around, each with our new gifts, each with a light that is yearning to shine. Everything we need is already in us, and sharing what's in us, well, that's life. We go together, we grow together, we go together, together we grow. We go together, we grow together, we go together, together we grow. Oh, together we grow,
What a joyful noise. Thank you. Well, we've come to this time in our service where we get to give. And what we have to give is ourselves. And we know that the circulation of what we give is what we receive. And so if it's yours to give a tithe, an offering, or if it's what's yours to give is your gratitude, your deepest prayer for this community, for this life, let that be. And so bring your intention to your heart as we say this love offering blessing together. From the love of pure spirit within me, I bless this gift. I send it forth to heal and rest and prosper. It is evidence of my faith and belief. It does good work in the world and returns to me abundantly. And so this is our time for the walk of abundance. And with that, you bring forth your offering, your tithes, your gratitude, your prayer, your love, and place that into the shiny copper bowl. And then from the wooden bowl, take an affirmation for yourself, for a loved one. And for those visiting us for the first time, your presence is enough. But please, come forward and get an affirmation. Let's celebrate with the walk of abundance. Thank you, Glenn. And so we take this opportunity to bless these gifts and our prayer box. Dear God, Dear presence within each of us, as we draw in connection, we know that these blessings, these gifts, this gratitude, this love, and these prayers for wholeness in our life are seeds that we plant within this community to do great work in our lives, in our community, in the world. It comes back to us in great abundance, and we are blessed. And for all the prayers in the prayer box, we know that God is working in these requests. And I call forth to each of you, if there's anyone or anything you want to pray for in your heart right now, we see the great work of God, the divinity within us, already out picturing abundance, healing, grace, balance, and serenity. And for this, we are grateful. Thank you, God. Amen. I want to take this moment to thank Reverend Maggie Alderman. Alderman, thank you so much. Beautiful. She is a minister. And there's a great woman who does great ministry in our organization. That is Kathy Overcamp. She is a licensed Unity teacher. She's the head of our community life service coordinator. And let's give her great appreciation. Thank you, Kathy. And this follows because it's the time to sign up for sacred service opportunities for the Sunday services. Right after this service, you can meet with her for November and December. There's some people who've already signed up, but this is your opportunity to be a greeter, to help out with the service. There's a couple of opportunities, and it's a great way to make connection. So, see Kathy after the service, and so be it. We have the Unity Choir that starts rehearsal today following this service. So just stay right here in the sanctuary. Come back in the sanctuary, say hello, and we'll have this opportunity to begin rehearsing for the Advent season. I love it. Also, I love teaching. And we have an opportunity for you. It's one of the spiritual education enrichment classes. This is Bible Overview Christian Scriptures. It's going to be over 5 Sunday evenings from 5:30 to 7:30, starting Monday the 21st. It'll be in our Gratitude and Prosperity Room, and all of our classes are done for a love offering. This class focuses on those Hebrew Scriptures, the people that created it, and how it's a great document that enriches our lives today. Come join us as we explore those Hebrew Scriptures. We have one more opportunity, it's still October, to celebrate our 21st birthday. We are grateful and proud. And we've just got a fun whole family event following our service next Sunday. It's going to be in Fisher Park, which is a beautiful facility. We've got the Grand Pavilion, which is a covered area. It's really spectacular. Pack your own lunch, your own beverage, bring it along. We'll have a birthday cake. If you've got some fun games to play, bring those along. We'll have face painting and cornhole and frisbee or whatever we want to do. It's a time to just hang out and enjoy each other. Really simple and easy, and it offers an opportunity for deeper connection. I love it. There's a tie-in everywhere. And this, I'm so grateful we're going to do this. We're going to have a very special service for Veterans Day Sunday on November 10th. And we want to honor all the men and women in our community who have served in the military. So if you would, next Sunday or even the Sunday after, dig up a photo of you in uniform. because we want to have a slideshow with you now and you in uniform as we get to honor and celebrate you. I want you to bring that to Owen. He'll take a picture of your picture, so you don't need to leave it. You just bring the album or bring the photo, show it, take a picture, and then we'll get to celebrate you. So it's a call. Thank you. Also, we have a call every day at 8 o'clock. It's a prosperity prayer. It's an opportunity to connect and hold this vision of prosperity for all of us. The number that's on the screen is on the cover of your bulletin, and it happens every single day at 8 o'clock. You can hold this prayer with us by calling in or say that prayer when 8 o'clock happens. The prayer is this: God is our inexhaustible resource. All of our needs are constantly and bountifully met. Our abundant good comes to us from every direction and is here now. God is our never-ending supply. Our abundance of health, wealth, and blessings radiates and circulates in our lives and throughout this ministry. Unity of New Braunfels is brilliantly blessed in the light of infinite possibilities. Grateful beyond measure we stand, and so it is. Amen. Unity was founded in prayer, and it's your opportunity after the service. Deb Thomas is the chaplain. She'll come up here to the front pews. If you have any issue that might be a challenge or even a great blessing, you can take anything into prayer. Meet with Deb, and she'll hold the high watch for your concern. We also have our prayer box, which we just blessed up front. It lives right outside of the Sacred Corner bookstore, and there's some prayer request forms. Write anything, people, issues you want to pray over. They're confidential. We never read whatever you don't put your name on it, but we pray over those for 30 days right here. And then we bundle them together. We send them on to Silent Unity, where they're continued to pray over. Unity was founded in prayer, and we know prayer works. Thank you. And so if you'd like to continue to see what's happening here at Unity, you can look in your bulletin. There's all the details there. Or you can go to our website, which is an ever-growing tool for connection that is unitynewbraunfels.org. Go there. Mary Bourne is just filling it with wonderful tools for how we connect and different ways of how we can reach out to each other. So check it. If you haven't seen it for a while, check it out. It is a beautiful development tool. Thank you, Mary. And now let's have the children come in. What? There's a song here. There is a song here. No, why don't we just have a song here? And the song is All Together Now by Ron Bretsky.
The wind blew hard and the rain poured down. It took its toll on this everyday town. Comfort and security with dreams washed away. It seems so like the end of days. It seemed just like the end of days. And then they came from nearby towns. They came from far away. They came in different colors with a God of different names. They came together in love. They came to heal the pain. But mostly they came together and found that we're the same. All together now. All together now. All together now. through life, eyes open wide. Remember that there are no sides. Fear and ignorance, they have no room whenever we're living in tune. All together now, all together now, all together now. They came from nearby towns, they came from far away. They came in different colors with a God of different names. They came together in love. They came to heal the pain. But mostly they came together and found they were the same. Oh, together now, all together now. All together now.
Beautiful.
Good morning, everybody. I am Leslie. I am the YFM director. I want to thank my teachers this morning, Ms. Jody, and start with the unit kids this morning. Y'all want to share thoughts? Not all at once. Anybody? Do we need to come back to you? You got it? Okay.
Everyone stares at me always. Today we watched a clip of Coco, and it was about seizing your moment. And then we did a thing called "This Is My Moment." You want to show yours? Jack drew this.
And seizing your moment kind of means following your dreams. So today we were talking about like what we can do to follow our dreams. And the papers we were drawing were what our dream was. And then afterwards we talked about how we can make today to help us follow our dreams for the future.
Uniteens and YOU. Anybody? Why are y'all so shy all of a sudden?
Today we talked about not taking things personally, and so we were reading the 4 agreements, and that's the second agreement. And so he talked about like if someone insults you, they're dealing with their own thing, and it's not your truth, and you just have to believe your inner Christ and know your truth and not take anything personally.
And I want to remind the parents and the kids after we sing the last song and do the last song, kids will go back to the Gratitude and Prosperity Room. That's where you can pick them up, and we will check them out. So all kids need to follow me back that way. And if we all rub our hands together, we'll bless you, you bless us.
Let's stand and sing the Prayer for Protection song. Let's join hands and sing out.
The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are,
Let's go out this day and take gratitude and connection into all we do. And so it is. Many blessings.